It's 1 minute past 7 p.m. Welcome to our news bulletin. We have so much in line for you. Stay tuned. My name is Vivian Nakwaka.
And my name is Mwenda Dennis. Follow us on our social media handles, MMUTV on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, www.mmutv.co.ke on our website.
There be a cessation of invasion of the consequent parties, particularly the Jubilee Party.
Bipartisan talks between the opposition and the government suspended with its immediate effect.
3 people confirmed dead following a building collapse in Murang'a.
Saingine anataka kuipia na anakugonga tu na anakuacha hivyo.
The boda sector in Rongai, Kajiado County is on the spot following claims from the residents.
At long last, Gor Mahia are the champions of the FKFPL following a win against Nairobi Stars.
Welcome. We start our bulletins based on various political dimensions whereby bipartisan talks aimed at resolving differences between Kenya's opposition and the government of President William Ruto have been suspended definitely since the co-chair leading the talk. Our very own Movin Najala has more on this.
The talks were suspended after government failed to meet the opposition demands as stated by Otiende Amolo, co-chair of the joint bipartisan talks.
And as an interim measure, we requested that we communicate on suspension of the ongoing selection of the IEBC commissioners as an interim issue. And on the fourth issue was the question of interference with constituent political parties among the two coalitions. And as an interim measure, last week, we requested that there be a cessation of invasion of the consequent parties, particularly the Jubilee Party. Today we've had lengthy discussions, we also had them last week, on the 4 issues that we had requested. Our colleagues have refused to concede to any of those interim measures, which has led us to the conclusion that they are not negotiating in good faith.
The opposition, Azimio la Umoja coalition led by veteran leader Raila Odinga, has in the past few months been at crossroads with Ruto's ruling Kenya Kwanza alliance.
Our constitution and Article 1 says that the power in the Republic of Kenya, sovereignty that is in the hand of the people of Kenya. They can either exercise it directly or through their elected leaders.
Odinga led twice weekly protests beginning in March over the high cost of living and alleged fraud in last year's election.
They are throwing tear gas at the people within their compounds. So people therefore now came out to defend themselves. They wanted to get out. And that's why they were actually throwing stones at the police. So those two kinds of violence are not the same.
The anti-government protests were suspended earlier this month after the opposition coalition said the ruling alliance had agreed to one of its demands.
Ruto has pledged to restore Kenya's physical discipline after the public debt surged in under his predecessor. But his proposal to raise taxes on a wide swathe of economic activities as part of the finance bill his government will put forward in Parliament next month has faced pushbacks from civil servants and political opponents, including Odinga. Reporting for MMUTV, my name is Movin Najala.
As Washera Maina reports still on the same political story, leaders of the opposition have promised to continue boycotting the bipartisan talk, claiming the Kenya Kwanza government failed to honor their demands.
The opposition leaders have promised to continue boycotting the bipartisan talk, alleging the Kenya Kwanza government failed to fulfill their demands. According to the co-chair of the Azimio la Umoja, Otiende Amolo, said the Kenya Kwanza co-chair George Murugala failed to sign letters that were addressed to the selection panel and to the chief executive officer of the IEBC.
Baba alituambia tuzungumze nao watu. Wakati huo tulikaza kamba. Wakatuomba tuzungumze, tujadiliane. Tukaanza mazungumzo, tukaregesha kamba. Kuregesha hivi wakaanza kututusi. Sasa kwa maoni inaonekana tukiregesha wanatudharau, tukikaza wanatuomba tuzungumze.
The Kenya Kwanza co-chair George Murugala, who is the Tharaka Nithi MP, says the talks were postponed due to the budget process.
The suspension was sine die, which literally means indefinite. And going by that, a month has lapsed. And since we left the talks, we actually got into the budget making process and the finance bill, which matters were concluded last week. Those matters are now behind us, and in our view as the Kenya Kwanza bipartisan talks team, we should actually reconvene and continue with the talks.
Murugera made an announcement stating they planned to resume talks with the Azimio la Umoja on 4th July 2023 in order to address the unresolved matters.
It is high time we either agree to proceed to discuss IBC in the bipartisan talks, or we allow the law to take its own course and process. This is because the country cannot be held to ransom as regards the recruitment of commissioners to IBC.
The Azimio One Kenya coalition directly said that they will not honor leaving the destiny of the IEBC selection process in labor. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Washera Maina.
We move on to a sad story where 5 people have been confirmed dead, while 3 others are still undergoing treatment at Murang'a Level 5 Hospital. This is after following the collapse of a building in Murang'a.
The county governor, Irungu Kang'ata, has put the county planning department for the incident that vowed to take disciplinary action. The rescue operators are still underway at the site. Diana John has more details on this.
Efforts to rescue 3 persons still stuck under the rubble of the building that collapsed in Murang'a on Monday still underway. 5 people have been confirmed dead, while 3 are undergoing treatment at Murang'a Level 5 Hospital, as the burden of the blame is put on the feet of the county planning officers, as the ill-fated building plan could not be located in the county records. Among the dead is a university trainee who was in East Industrial Attachment in the construction site. Leaders have made an appeal to the national county government to work together and survey those still trapped.
As county government, we have provided our best team to retrieve various bodies which are currently trapped in the building. But also going forward, the remedial measures include, number 1, we take disciplinary action against people who are in the Department of Planning. So far, we have removed the officer who was concerned in approving county building. He is no longer the planning officer in charge. He has been transferred.
The law is very clear. Ignorance to the law is not a defense to a criminal charge. Any person that might have been involved in this act that led to loss of lives of innocent Kenyans shall be dealt with unequivocally according to the law.
The operation is being conducted by the Disaster Rescue Unit of the KDF, Kenya National Police and Kenya Prison Service. This is not the first time a building is collapsing and causing death, raising questions to concerned agencies. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Diana John.
Thank you so much, Diana, for that report. Focusing on boda sector in Ongata Rongai, Kajiado County, both the operators and the residents are facing significant challenges that are affecting their ability to operate safely, as Washera Maina reports.
The boda sector in Ongata Rongai, Kajiado County are facing several challenges that are causing inconvenience and safety for both riders and the residents. In addition, the boda riders often face the problem of theft, where robbers sometimes target them and steal their motorcycles.
Hii kazi ya boda saa ingine inakuanga na shida sana, kwa kuwa unaweza beba mtu na umjui. Sasa ukimbeba mkienda, kuna mahali atafika akwambie saa ingine anataka kuibia na anakugonga tu na anakuacha hivyo. Ama kama sio hivyo, unakutana na mwingine, ukifika mahali alikuwa anaenda anakataa kukulipa na anatoka tu. Sasa mtu anabaki tu hivi akiumia.
Speaking to one of the residents in Masai Lodge who runs a business, shed light on the impact of these boda challenges on her and the community.
Unapata ile side amepita, Nissan inakuja ime overtake, mnaangushwa kwa mtaro, mnaanguka kwa sewage, vitu zako zinaharibika, huyo mtu anakulenga, inabidi sasa uchukue boda ingine, ambapo kwa mwanabiashara kama mimi ni hasara.
The local authorities together with the communities are taking steps to address this issue in order for the riders and the passengers to be safe. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Washera Maina.
Thank you, Ashera, for the report. We are taking a short commercial break and we will be back with more on business and entertainment news. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Kenyan consumers are facing fresh fuel shortages as some major oil marketing companies have exhausted their stock. This comes after the President William Ruto administration removed the subsidy system while the demand of fuel is high. Our prime reporter Rispa Chepkori has more on this.
The demand of fuel in the country has created more concern on the economy, therefore raising the standards of living high in Rongai town. The main cause of the fuel crisis is the following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Kenya is currently facing a fuel shortage at various fuel stations like in Rongai town. It has cited drivers choosing to walk elsewhere or not to walk due to working condition, retirement, and lack of driving tests during the crisis. The rise of fuel prices and fuel shortages was caused by the oil marketers. Therefore, there was an increase in the demand. Several filling stations across the city have turned them down due to lack of fuel, and some have closed stations.
Mimi ndo natumia kwa hii petrol station. Economy ilikuwa ngumu kidogo, so tulifunga, lakini hope tutakuwa sawa na tutaendelea kidogo.
According to Rongai residents, many fuel stations have closed due to high economy, therefore raising the standards of living in the town. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Rispa Chepkori.
On currency issues, the current exchange rate is rapidly increasing, making the Kenyan coin lose value. Washera Maina breaks down the currency state.
The Kenyan shilling is continuing to weaken against the falling dollars as economy hits up higher and higher on the daily basis, and here are our today's exchange rates. $1 is equivalent to 140 Kenyan shilling, £1 is equivalent to 179 Kenyan shilling, $1 Canadian is equivalent to 101 Kenyan shilling, €1 is equivalent to 153 Kenyan shilling, $1 Australian is equivalent to 93 Kenyan shilling. These rates are subject to change due to market condition and various economic factors. The exchange rate in Kenya is influenced by global economic trends, investor sentiments, and domestic policies. The Central Bank of Kenya is closely monitoring the situation and is prepared to take necessary measures to maintain the stability. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Washera Maina.
Thank you, Washera Maina. Moving on to entertainment sector, the Kenyan entertainment sector has been on the spot for a couple of years. Royal Media Services is celebrating the fantastic performance once again during the 6th edition of the Kuza Awards of the Communication Authority's Kuza Broadcasting Awards that were held on Friday.
On the other hand, sports, culture and entertainment CS Ababu Namwamba has revoked the appointment of Talanta Hela Council Awards before the launch of program in an exercise that will be presided over by President William Ruto at State House. Our reporter Movin Nanjala tells us more.
Last month, through a High Court ruling, the appointments of the members to the council for a period of 3 years suffered a setback after suspension after a case filed by a sports personality, Charles Mugane, who cited legal and constitutional flaws in the case he filed under certificate of urgency. In February this year, President William Ruto's digital strategist Dennis Idhumbi, media personality Carol Rabul, popular TikToker Azid Nasenya were among personalities appointed into the Talanta Hela Council. The council, comprising of 2 technical committees in sports and creatives, was to serve for a period of 3 years with CS himself as the chairman. Rabul was chairing the sports technical committee, which had 11 other members, including former Kenyan international Boniface Ambani, renowned javelin superstar Julius Yego, football administrator Samit Yoi Sholei, among others. According to the appointing authority, the Sports Committee was tasked with considering and proposing legislative and policy measures for the growth of sports, deploy the digital space in talent search, identification, nurturing and expose and aid the process of Kenya bidding to host regional, continental and global sporting events among other roles. Reporting for MMU TV, my name is Movin Nanjala.
A short commercial break and we'll be back with international news.
I'm gonna be better than you thought.
जब हर घूंट हो स्ट्रॉन्ग तो व्हाई नॉट मेरी जान.
Welcome back. On matters outside the country, the Wagner chief in West Russia has claimed that his forces have been shot down by Russian military helicopters and did not provide details to be verified. More on this by Diana John.
The chief of mercenary group Wagner says that his forces has shot down Russian military helicopter and did not provide any details, and FFP could not verify the claim. Prigozhin earlier said that his unit, which are 4 months spearheaded an assault in eastern Ukraine, had entered the southern Russian region, Rostov. Prigozhin accused Chief of the General Staff Valery of ordering strikes against his units, even though they were moving among civilian vehicles. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Diana John.
That's a good report by Diana John. As we move on, in an interview with France 24 on the sidelines of the summit for a new global financing pact, Kenya President William Ruto said the world multinational financial architecture needs to be fixed. Usually reacting to the ongoing conflict in Sudan, more than 2,000 people have been killed there since fighting broke out on April 15, as the reporter Rais Pachekori reports.
Ruto narrowly won re-election in August 2022, but Raila Odinga claims to have won instead and has since been organizing protests across the country as part of democracy. Turning to the deadly conflict in Sudan, he said while in France, there are already signs of genocide and the military is used to destroy the country and to kill the civilians. The war is endless and the war is not legitimate in any way. Speaking in France, Ruto said he had a regional meeting about the situation in Sudan 2 weeks to stop the war. He also said the multinational financial architecture needs to be fixed and insisted on advantages of clarifying climate financing in order to deal with it and the existent threat on climate change across the country and around the world.
Guys, I bring you greetings from Kenya, the land of the greatest marathoners, from the youngest continent in the globe. It is wonderful to see you, so many people from around the world, in one of the most historic cities, under the magnificent Eiffel Tower. The joy and happiness exuded by all of us here, I wish it could be shared around the world. The people of Kenya, Africa, and many parts of the world live in the reality of the new normal. The climate crisis is getting worse every year, with millions losing their lives and livelihoods to drought, flash floods, heat waves, cyclones, and wildfires. Luckily, the solutions to make a difference are in our hands. And our health is the human face of climate change. Our next frontier is building climate and pandemic resilient health systems, resilient economic development. Together, we can build a better future for people and planet.
Moving on to sport sector, Strathmore University Football Club has been crowned the 2022 2023 Kenyan University Football Federation winner KUFF on the final day of the tournament is against the Multimedia University Football Club, who took position at MMU ground. As our Super Bowl reporter Rispa Chepkori tells us more.
On Sunday 25th, Strathmore FC won the Kenya Universities League a record of 20 times. It is one of the most successful teams in East and Central Kenya. The team was playing against Multimedia University FC, where they won by 4-1 goal at Multimedia University Stadium. Strathmore headed to the final day with a result of 67 and separating them from Multimedia University FC, who are second with 66. Strathmore won 2022-2023 season league with a celebration at Multimedia University Stadium alongside their fans. The league ended where Strathmore won in full time.
The semi-final winners of the Kenyan Universities League are Strathmore, who won against MMU FC on the semi-final. Reporting for MMU TV News, I'm Rispa Chepkori.
Still more on sports, Gor Mahia, the well-known Kogalo, are clinched the 2022-2023 FKF PL title. This was after win against Nairobi City Stars at Kasarani Sports Stadium yesterday, surpassing Tusker FC, the 1 point clear on the top of the table, who took second position with 69 points, as Dennis Burgess reports more.
Gor Mahia have reclaimed the FKF Premier League title after coming from a goal down to beat Nairobi City Stars 4-1 at Kasarani Stadium. This is in the final game of the 2022-2023 season. By the virtue of Gor Mahia top flight triumph, the team under the patronage of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, they were awarded 1.5 million. Hence, Gor Mahia will represent the county in 2023-2024 CAF Champions League.
Chance tells its whole. Gor Mahia, alias Kogalo, they are the 2022-2023 FKF PL champions after defeating Nairobi City Stars 4-1. Remember, this is the title that they have clinched for their 20th time. MMU Sports, my name is Mwenda Dennis.
That marks the end of our news bulletin at 7 p.m. We have been your host, Vivian Nakwaka.
Dennis Mwenda.
Have a fantastic evening.